How to Win with Daily Discipline. Written and published by Mindset Masters Audiobooks. Part 1. The Hidden Power of Daily Discipline. Success is never an accident. Behind every high achiever lies an invisible force, discipline. Not the kind that feels like punishment or rigidity, but the kind that liberates you. It's the structure that creates freedom, the boundary that breeds creativity, the practice that builds greatness. People often look for motivation to kickstart their dreams, but motivation is unreliable. It's a spark, not a fire. If you want consistency, momentum, and real transformation, what you need is discipline, daily discipline. And not just in the big moments, the speeches, the launches, the final tests, but in the small, quiet decisions that no one sees. This journey isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. That's where the real victory lies. Why daily discipline matters more than willpower. Discipline and willpower are not the same. Willpower is a finite resource. You start your day with a limited amount of it, and it depletes as you make decisions. That's why by evening you're more likely to skip your workout, order takeout, or scroll aimlessly. Discipline, on the other hand, is a system. It's not about deciding each day whether or not to do something. It's about removing the decision altogether. When you install discipline into your life like a program, you bypass fatigue. You don't argue with yourself, you act. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't debate it every morning. You just do it. That's the goal for your habits. Automatic, consistent, non-negotiable. Your identity is shaped by your discipline. Every disciplined act reinforces a message to yourself. I'm the kind of person who follows through. This is crucial, because the most lasting change happens not at the level of action, but identity. When you get up early, when you journal daily, when you stick to your fitness or financial goals, you're casting a vote for the identity you want to build. That identity compounds over time. You start becoming the person you admire, not by thinking about it, but by living it. Discipline is the daily proof that you believe in your future self more than your current feelings. Eliminate decision fatigue. Set your standards once. Every time you leave a decision open, you drain energy. Should I go to the gym today? Should I eat clean or grab something fast? Should I read or scroll? Instead of making 100 decisions a day, make one powerful decision that sets the tone. I work out daily. I eat with intention. I protect my mornings. Make your standards your default settings, and stick to them. This removes the need for motivation. You act not because you feel like it, but because that's simply who you are. Build systems, not goals. Goals are good for direction, but systems are what create progress. A disciplined life doesn't revolve around chasing outcomes. It focuses on installing systems that deliver those outcomes consistently. Want to get fit? Instead of obsessing over the number on the scale, build the system of daily movement and clean eating. Want to grow financially? Focus on the system of saving a fixed percentage and automating investments. The results will follow. Disciplined people don't chase goals. They live in systems that make goals inevitable. The power of morning anchors. One of the most powerful ways to build daily discipline is to anchor your mornings. Why? Because how you begin your day determines how you finish it. A powerful morning routine doesn't have to be complicated. Even 30 minutes of clarity can change your life. Here's a simple but effective formula. Silence, meditation, prayer, or deep breathing. 5 minutes. Reflection, journaling or gratitude. 10 minutes. Or workout. 10 minutes. Learning, read or listen to something inspiring. 5 minutes. When you start your day on purpose, you're less likely to live it on autopilot. Focus on one habit at a time. Trying to overhaul your entire life in one go is a recipe for burnout. The disciplined mind understands this. It focuses on one habit at a time, masterfully. Once that habit becomes second nature, it layers in the next. Want to build the muscle of discipline? Start with a single high-impact habit and guard it with everything you've got. Let it be your anchor, your proof, your momentum. When that habit becomes who you are, discipline becomes less effortful and more instinctive. Daily wins compound over time. One disciplined decision might not seem life-changing in the moment, but compounded over time, it creates radical transformation. One workout becomes 300 in a year. One mindful meal becomes a better relationship with your body. One focused hour each morning becomes 365 hours of personal growth. Discipline is not dramatic. It's quiet, invisible, but it's always building something massive behind the scene. Discipline is a form of self-respect. When you follow through on what you said you'd do, even when no one is watching, you send yourself a powerful message. I can trust myself. That trust creates confidence. That confidence builds momentum. That momentum becomes unstoppable. Discipline isn't restriction. It's freedom. Freedom to live on your own terms. Freedom to create the life you dream of. Freedom to look in the mirror and be proud of the person you see. Part 2. Desistant. The myth of motivation. One of the biggest myths holding people back is the belief that you need to feel like it to act, that motivation must come first, and then discipline will follow. But in truth, the order is reversed. Discipline creates action, and action creates momentum, which over time generates motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is foundational. When you rely on emotion to drive behavior, your progress becomes inconsistent. But when you rely on principle and structure, you win, regardless of your mood. Think of motivation as the flame of a match. Discipline is the log on fire. One burns fast and fades. The other sustains. You don't need to be inspired every day. You just need to be consistent. Discipline in the micro moments. Daily discipline isn't about grand gestures. It lives in micro moments. Small choices repeated consistently. Choosing water over soda. Shutting down distractions and finishing the task. Speaking kindly to yourself when you want to give up. Getting out of bed when it's easier to snooze. Each of these moments may seem small, but they build something enormous over time. Identity. You are what you consistently do, and these little victories become the foundation for your future success. The key is to stop waiting for the right time to be disciplined. Every moment is the right time to practice who you want to become. Discipline is more about what you say no to. Most people believe discipline is about doing more, but often it's about doing less, but better. It's about cutting out distractions, trimming the unnecessary, and focusing only on what moves you forward. Saying no is hard, especially in a world of endless options, but the disciplined mind filters every opportunity through one clear lens. Does this serve my long-term vision? Social media scrolling, late-night binge-watching, overcommitting to things that dilute your energy. If it doesn't build you, it breaks your focus. Discipline is a form of protection. It guards your energy, your time, and your potential from being wasted. Every no to something weak is a yes to something strong. Time discipline. Control your calendar. Control your life. If you don't command your day will command you. Time discipline is one of the most underrated success skills. It's not just about being busy. It's about being intentional. You must plan your days like a CEO. Schedule the non-negotiables, your workouts, your reading, your focused work blocks, and then protect them. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't exist. But here's the secret. Discipline with your time doesn't mean rigidity. It means prioritization. You can be flexible, but only within boundaries you've already decided on. Otherwise, the world will decide for you. Own your calendar, or lose your life to other people's agenda. Discipline in thought. Master the inner conversation. Discipline isn't just physical. It's deeply mental. It starts in the mind. Long before it shows up in action, you have an internal voice that speaks all day. It whispers doubts, excuses, limitation. If you don't train it, it will dominate you. Mental discipline means you direct that voice. You catch it when it says this is too hard, and you respond, that's exactly why I'm doing it. You replace I can't with I'm learning. Self-talk is a habit. And like all habits, it can be trained. Speak to yourself with power, purpose, and patience. Your mind will follow the words you feed it. Physical discipline. Use your body to train your mind. The body and the mind are not separate. When you push your body, whether through movement, cold exposure, breath work, or any challenge, you train your mind to do hard things. Discipline thrives in physical challenge. When you consistently do what's uncomfortable, you build grit. You stretch your tolerance for discomfort, and discomfort is where all growth lives. This doesn't mean you need to become a world-class athlete, but it does mean you treat your body with respect. You move it, fuel it, and push it, because a strong body helps carry a strong mind. Daily movement, even 20 minutes, isn't just health, it's a discipline builder. The role of environment in daily discipline. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and your environment is one of those systems. Look around. Does your space support your discipline or sabotage it? Is your workspace clean or cluttered? Is your kitchen stocked with fuel or temptations? Is your phone filled with tools or distractions? Do the people around you hold you to a higher standard or lower it? Discipline becomes easier when your environment works with you. Make success the default. Create spaces that inspire action, clarity, and excellence. And remember, your environment includes people. Choose your circle with intention. The pain of regret versus the pain of discipline. There are two pains in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. The pain of discipline is upfront. It's the early wake up, the hard decision, the effort, when you're tired, but it's temporary, and it's empowering. The pain of regret is delayed. It's what you feel months or years later, when you realize you could have built something extraordinary but did. Regret weighs more, far more. When you understand this, discipline stops feeling like punishment. It becomes a daily act of self-love and future-proofing your life. Consistency over intensity. You don't need extreme discipline for one day. You need consistent discipline every day. Many people start strong but fade fast. They go all in for a week and then burn out. True discipline isn't about going hard. It's about showing up every single day. Be the person who keeps showing up. One push-up a day is better than 50 once a month. One page read daily compounds faster than trying to read a book in a weekend. One smart decision every day rewires your entire life. Consistency wins every time. Discipline is a practice, not a trait. You're not born disciplined. No one. It's a practice. Something you build with repetition. It's okay to fall short, to miss a day, to feel resistance. That's part of the process. But what matters is your ability to return, to realign, to recommit. Each day is a new chance to practice. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming powerful, slowly, deliberately, and daily.
Part 3. Dissay. Your identity is built by repetition. Discipline doesn't just shape your behavior, it forges your identity. Every time you choose structure over chaos, action over excuse, and intention over impulse, you cast a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. You become what you consistently do. And that consistency doesn't need to be dramatic. It needs to be deliberate. When you wake up and keep your promise to yourself, no matter how small, you reinforce an identity. I am someone who follows through. Over time, that identity becomes unshakable. You're no longer pretending to be disciplined. You are disciplined because that's what you've practiced being. Focus, the core discipline skill. Focus is the gateway to all achievement. In today's distracted world, it's not intelligence or creativity that separates the winners. It's the ability to concentrate on one meaningful task until it's done. Daily discipline requires you to guard your attention like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. If you can't hold your focus, you can't build, you can't finish, you can't grow. Discipline means no more multitasking. No more checking notifications every 8 minutes. No more reacting to everything. Start by doing one important task each day, fully, without distraction. Train yourself to work in deep focus. You'll accomplish more in 2 hours of true concentration than most people do in an entire day of scattered attention. Set rules, follow them relentlessly. Disciplined people don't leave their choices to chance. They design rules for their lives, then follow them, no matter what. Rules like, I don't skip workouts. I read for 30 minutes every morning. I don't touch my phone before 10 a.m. I write down my top 3 tasks every night. These aren't restrictions, they're commitments to self-respect. They eliminate decision fatigue and give you clarity. Instead of constantly asking yourself, should I? Your life becomes, this is what I do. When you live by rules you've chosen, you remove friction, and the fewer decisions you have to make, the more energy you have to execute. The power of starting your day with a win. Discipline begins before the world wakes up. Your mornings set the tone. The most successful people don't leave them unplanned. They design them with purpose. Why? Because the first thing you do each morning is a message to yourself about who you are. Do you roll over and scroll, or do you get up and move your body? Do you react to others, or do you build something of your own? Win your morning, and you win your day. Even small actions matter. Make your bed. Journal 1 page. Review your goals. Hydrate and move. Stacking small wins early creates a momentum that's hard to break. Make your discipline visual. One of the simplest tools for building consistency is visual tracking. Use a habit tracker, a wall calendar, or a notebook to record each day you keep your promise. Every X you mark becomes a visual celebration of your commitment. And once you see a streak, you'll want to protect it. This method works because it leverages something powerful. You don't want to break the chain. Whether it's a workout, meditation, journaling, or sticking to your budget, track it, watch it grow. Make your progress visible. And when you inevitably miss a day, remember this rule. Never miss twice. Remove willpower from the equation. Willpower is unreliable. Some days it's strong. Other days it's nowhere to be found. That's why high achievers don't rely on it. They rely on systems. Systems make discipline automatic. They reduce the need for choice. Examples: a meal prep on Sundays instead of deciding what to eat every night. A set bedtime alarm that tells you when to shut down. Pre-scheduling workouts in your calendar like appointment. Blocking websites that steal your focus during work hours. The more friction you remove from good habits, and the more friction you add to bad ones, the easier discipline becomes. Discipline doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be intentional. Build mental toughness through controlled challenges. To grow your discipline, you must voluntarily lean into discomfort. You must challenge yourself in controlled environments to prepare for the real world. That could mean fasting for a set period to control impulses, saying no to sugar or caffeine for 7 days, waking up an hour earlier for 30 days straight. These aren't about punishment, they're training. Every time you overcome a small resistance, you reinforce a message. I control my body. I control my choices. Discipline grows in resistance. The stronger the resistance, the stronger your response becomes if you practice it. Use anchors to reinforce habits. An anchor is a pre-existing habit that you attach a new habit to. It's a powerful way to install discipline without needing extra time or energy. For example, after I brush my teeth, I do 10 push-ups. After I pour my coffee, I review my top goals. After I shut down work, I journal 1 win from the day. These are simple but effective. Why? Because they piggyback on habits that are already automatic. The best way to build a disciplined life is to attach your desired behaviors to the rhythms that already exist. Train yourself to finish what you start. One of the most overlooked forms of discipline is completion. Most people start with energy and excitement, but very few finish. Finishing is a skill. It requires follow-through, persistence, and focus, and it's one of the fastest ways to build self-trust. When you consistently complete what you begin, no matter how small, you train your brain to believe you're dependable. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through. That identity is gold. Start small. Finish the book you began. Complete the workout you started. Finish the task before checking your phone. Make finishing your habit. It will bleed into everything else. Discipline is a lifestyle, not a phase. You don't build discipline for a week or a month. You build it for life. That's why it must be sustainable. Daily discipline isn't about punishment or burnout. It's about designing a way of living that aligns with your long-term values, goals, and identity. That means rest is part of discipline. Recovery is part of the plan. Joy, laughter, celebration, those are fuel for long-term consistency. You don't need to suffer to grow. You just need to stay consistent. That's the real win.
Part 4a. The truth about motivation. Why discipline must replace it. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Great when it's here, but completely untrustworthy when you need it. Waiting for motivation is the fastest way to stay stuck. That's why winners don't rely on it. They rely on discipline. Discipline says, I don't need to feel like it. I do it anyway. This mindset shift changes everything. When you stop expecting to feel inspired and instead expect yourself to take action no matter what, you gain control over your life. Motivation asks, do I want to? Discipline answers, I do it because I said I would. If you can act without waiting to be inspired, you can achieve more in a week than most people do in a month. Design your environment for discipline. The environments you operate in either pull you forward or drag you down. Most people fail to stick to good habits, not because they're weak but because their environments are designed for distraction. If your phone is next to your bed, you'll scroll before sleep. If junk food is in your pantry, you'll eat it. If your workspace is chaotic, your focus will scatter. To win with discipline, you must engineer your surroundings to make good choices easier and bad choices harder. Here's how. Put your workout clothes out the night before. Delete distracting apps off your phone. Use noise-canceling headphones during deep work. Keep a water bottle within reach. Leave your phone in another room while reading. Environment trumps willpower. Set yours up for the results you want. The cost of undisciplined living. Lack of discipline doesn't just delay your goals, it steals your confidence. Every time you break a promise to yourself, even a small one, you weaken your belief in your ability to follow through. Over time, this leads to chronic procrastination, low self-worth, emotional instability, stagnation. Undisciplined living feels good in the moment, but it builds a life of regret. It's a slow erosion of potential. That's why staying comfortable now is often the most painful decision later. Discipline, on the other hand, may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but it creates a life you're proud of. You choose your pain, the pain of discipline now, or the pain of disappointment later. Build identity-based habits. Instead of trying to force yourself into discipline by will, shift your identity. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? Then act like that person even when it's inconvenient. If you want to be a fit person, ask, what would a fit person do right now? Then do it. If you want to be a focused entrepreneur, ask, how would a focused entrepreneur behave in this moment? Then mirror that. Discipline becomes easier when it's not about achieving a result, but about living out who you are. When you align your actions with your desired identity, discipline becomes natural. You're not pretending. You're proving to yourself that you are the kind of person who does hard things consistently. Master the power of micro-commitments. One of the fastest ways to build discipline is to lower the barrier to starting. Don't focus on the full 60-minute workout. Focus on putting on your shoes. Don't stress over writing 2,000 words. Commit to just opening the document and writing one sentence. This is called the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes to start, do it now. It creates momentum, and momentum destroys resistance. Discipline isn't about always going hard. It's about always beginning. Starting is 80% of winning the battle. Once you're in motion, everything else follows. Stop negotiating with yourself. You know the inner voice. Doubt. Skip today. You've worked hard already. One time won't hurt. It's your comfort zone in disguise, and it must be shut down immediately. Disciplined people don't negotiate with laziness. They make a decision once and then follow through without reopening the debate. Create this mental rule.
I don't entertain arguments against my commitment. When the thought comes up to skip, delay, or excuse, treat it like spam. Delete it. You've already decided. Discipline begins and ends with honoring your decisions. Use the power of pre-decision. Willpower weakens under pressure. That's why you need to make your decisions before the moment of temptation. Decide the night before what time you'll wake up. Decide at the start of the week which days you'll train. Decide your work schedule and block distractions in advance. Decide your meals ahead of time so you're not making choices when tired. This is called pre-decision. It means you don't have to think, guess, or negotiate in real time. You just follow the plan. Pre-decision is the most underrated discipline. It reduces emotional exhaustion and keeps your actions aligned with your goals even on tough days. Eliminate energy leaks. You can't be disciplined when your energy is leaking from unaddressed problems, open loops, and unresolved. Energy leaks come from cluttered environments, poor sleep, too many commitments, toxic relationships, unfinished tasks. Start plugging the leaks. Clean your workspace. Say no more often. Delegate what drains you. Clear your digital clutter. Finish the things you keep postponing. Discipline thrives on clarity. When your mental space is clean, it's easier to stay focused, committed, and in control. Practice self-respect through consistency. At its core, daily discipline is self-respect in motion. When you consistently do what you said you'd do, even when it's not easy, you reinforce your worth. You prove that your word matters. You treat your future self with honor. Most people keep promises to others but break them to themselves. Flip that. Become the kind of person who refuses to let themselves down. Discipline is how you show up for you. And the more you do, the more unshakable your confidence becomes. You are not a victim of your habits. You are the architect. With daily discipline, you take back control of your time, your choices, and your future. Show up today. Stick to your commitments. And remember, discipline isn't punishment. It's your pathway to freedom.
Part 5. What gets scheduled gets done. If something is important, it belongs on your calendar, not just in your mind. Winners don't leave their priorities to chance or when they feel like it. They schedule them. They assign time to what matters because they understand what gets scheduled gets done. Discipline isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters consistently. Do this, that. Schedule your deep work hours like non-negotiable meetings. Block specific time for workouts, meals, reading, rest. Treat your calendar like a contract with your future self. Stop saying, "I'll try to get to it." Start saying, "It's in my calendar, I'm committed." This small shift transforms wishful thinking into focused execution. The myth of balance. Trying to balance everything is a trap. It creates pressure to be perfect in all areas at the same time. But real discipline understands trade-offs. You're not supposed to do everything every day. You're supposed to do the right things every day. Discipline means and sometimes saying no to social plans so you can build, waking up early while others sleep, choosing to miss out on temporary fun to create long-term freedom. This isn't about imbalance. It's about intentional imbalance. Leaning into what matters most right now. You don't have to be everywhere. You just need to be exactly where you promised yourself you'd be. Focus. The secret discipline weapon. Most people aren't undisciplined because they're lazy. They're undisciplined because they're distracted. Focus is the master skill. Without it, no habit sticks, no goal is reached, and no potential is realized. With it, even the most ordinary person can achieve extraordinary things. To strengthen focus, eliminate notifications. Your phone should serve you, not enslave you. Work in short, deep intervals. Try 45 minutes focused, 15 minutes rest. Use tools like time blocking or the Pomodoro technique. Set up a clean, distraction-free environment. Discipline and focus are twins. You can't have one without the other. When your attention is laser sharp, your actions become unstoppable. Get addicted to completion. There's power in finishing what you start. Every time you complete a task, big or small, you reinforce your identity as someone who follows through.
That identity strengthens your discipline muscle. Start making this your mantra. I don't leave things half done. Train yourself to complete the workout you started, the book you opened, the business idea you began, the hard conversation you avoided, the habits you committed to. Completion builds trust with yourself, and self-trust is the backbone of self-discipline. Learn to delay gratification. The ability to delay gratification is the greatest predictor of long-term success. Disciplined people play the long game. They resist short-term comfort to earn long-term freedom. They save money instead of spending impulsively. Say no to junk food to stay healthy. Wake up early for the advantage it creates. Build now so they can enjoy later. Discipline whispers, not yet, but soon, and it will be worth it. Train yourself to pause, to wait, to push off pleasure in service of your higher purpose. Each time you delay gratification, you're casting a vote for the future you desire. Remove friction from good habits. The easier it is to start, the more likely it is to happen. That's why smart people don't just rely on motivation. They remove friction. They make doing the right thing simple, fast, and effortless. Examples. Place your book on your pillow so you read before bed. Keep your gym bag packed by the door. Set your coffee machine to auto brew so mornings flow easier. Leave your to-do list visible so your priorities stay front and center. Reduce resistance. Make the disciplined choice the default option. Small tweaks to your setup lead to massive consistency over time. Celebrate the reps, not the results. High achievers understand that progress is hidden in the repetitions, not just the results. They don't wait until they achieve a big milestone to feel successful. They feel successful every time they show up. Each workout is a win. Each page read is a deposit. Each focused hour compounds. Each small promise kept adds up. Discipline isn't about one grand act. It's a quiet, daily practice. Every rep is proof you're becoming the kind of person who does what needs to be done. Celebrate the process. That's where true transformation happens. Build a recovery system. Discipline without rest leads to burnout, and burnout leads to quitting. Smart discipline includes planned recovery. You train hard, and you recover hard. Sleep is sacred. Prioritize it. Breaks are not a weakness. Use them to refocus. Unplug intentionally. Your mind needs stillness to stay sharp. Think of recovery as the fuel that powers your next wave of action. The goal isn't just to grind, it's to sustain. And sustainability requires cycles of effort and renewal. Keep a daily discipline log. What gets tracked improves. What stays vague gets ignored. If you want to become truly disciplined, keep a simple log of your actions. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Just track. What you committed to, what you actually did, what got in the way, if anything, how you'll improve tomorrow. This isn't about shame, it's about awareness. When you look back on a week of kept promises, you build momentum. When you miss, you don't spiral. You adjust. A discipline log turns intentions into patterns, and patterns turn into permanent change. You are always training something. Every day, in every action, you're training a pattern. Skip a workout, you're training avoidance. Hit snooze, you're training delay. They show up regardless, you're training grit. Do the hard task first, you're training courage. There's no such thing as a neutral decision. Everything you do either strengthens discipline or weakens it. Let this truth guide you. You are always training something. Make sure it's what you want to become. Keep showing up. Keep honoring your word. Keep building the identity of someone who follows through every day. Because that's how you win with daily discipline. Part 6 test. Discipline is a daily decision. Discipline isn't something you decide once and then forget. It's a decision you make every day. Sometimes every hour. You don't become disciplined by isolating. You become disciplined by making conscious choices. Choosing to wake up when the alarm goes off. Choosing to start your work even when you don't feel ready. Choosing to act on your plan, not your emotions. Each choice is a vote for your future. Each decision is a message to your brain that says, I am in control. One good choice leads to another. That's how the disciplined life is built, brick by brick. Discipline over emotion. Most people let emotions decide their actions. That's why their results are inconsistent. Disciplined people flip the script. They don't ask, "Do I feel like it?" They ask, "What needs to be done?" They understand, Tatha, you won't always feel motivated, but you can still move. You won't always feel inspired, but you can still execute. You won't always feel clear, but you can still trust your plan. Discipline leads, emotion follows. And often, doing the work creates the feeling you were waiting for. Control the first hour. The first hour of your day is sacred. It sets the tone. It sends a signal to your mind. This day belongs to me. If you win your morning, you create momentum that carries through the rest of the day. Here's how disciplined people structure their first hour. Tatha, wake up early, before the world demands your attention. Avoid your phone. It pulls you into reactivity. Move your body. It energizes your mind. Reflect, journal, plan or meditate for clarity. Attack your top priority before distractions arrive. When you start your day with purpose, discipline becomes natural. Build keystone habits. Not all habits are equal. Some have a ripple effect across your entire life. These are called keystone habits. When you install a keystone habit, it improves other areas automatically. It becomes a foundation for discipline. Examples: waking up early, more time, less stress, better focus, daily planning, clear priorities, better execution, exercise, more energy, better mood, stronger willpower, healthy eating, better thinking, fewer crashes, more self-control. Identify your keystone habits. Guard them. When those are solid, everything else gets easier. And master the art of saying no. Every yes is a no to something else. Disciplined people understand the power of strategic refusal. They say no to people who drain their focus. Habits that feel good now but cost them later. They're not rude. They're clear. They're not cold. They're committed. If you want to protect your goals, protect your attention. And if you want to protect your attention, start saying no. Without guilt, without apology. Each no is a boundary. And boundaries create the space where discipline thrives. Design an environment that supports discipline. You're not just a product of your choices, you're a product of your environment. If your environment is full of distraction, temptation, and chaos, discipline becomes an uphill battle. But if your environment is clean, clear, and aligned with your goals, discipline becomes easy. Examples: Tatha, put your phone in another room while you work. Keep junk food out of the house. Surround yourself with focused, disciplined people. Use visual cues, like sticky notes, calendars, or habit trackers, to stay on course. Don't just try to be more disciplined. Make discipline the path of least resistance. Use friction to stop bad habits. Just like you can remove friction to make good habits easier, you can add friction to make bad habits harder. This is a secret weapon of disciplined people. Examples: Tatha, delete social media apps, so you have to log in every time. Unplug the TV when you want to read instead. Freeze your credit card if you tend to overspend. Move snacks to the highest shelf out of sight, out of reach. Make bad choices annoying. Make them inconvenient. The harder they are to access, the less power they hold. Design your life so the undisciplined option is the most difficult one. Never miss twice. Even the most disciplined people slip. They miss workouts. They eat poorly. They procrastinate. It happens. But here's their rule: never miss twice. If they skip one workout, they make the next one non-negotiable. If they have one bad meal, the next one is clean. If they lose one focused day, the next day starts with intention. Why? Because the second miss is what creates the pattern, and patterns are what shape your identity. One mistake is human. 2 in a row is a habit forming. So, miss once, forgive yourself, then get back on track immediately. Anchor to your identity. Real discipline sticks when it's tied to identity, not just motivation. Stop telling yourself, I want to get in shape. Start saying, I am someone who trains daily. Stop saying, I want to wake up earlier. Say instead, I am the kind of person who protects my morning. Discipline becomes natural when it feels like who you are, not something you're forcing. So repeat this. I am consistent. I follow through. I act on purpose, not on feelings. Build a disciplined identity. The actions will follow. The path. Review, refine, repeat. Discipline is never perfect. It's a process, not a fixed state. You will evolve. Your goals will change. Your routines will need adjustments. That's why self-reflection matters. At the end of each week, ask, what worked? What didn't? What's one small upgrade I can make? Discipline isn't about being robotic. It's about being intentional, aware, and in control of your direction. Small adjustments create massive results over time. Every day, you are casting votes for the person you're becoming. Discipline isn't just about results. It's about character. Choose the harder path. Do what needs to be done. And keep showing up, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's how you win with daily discipline. Ask Chat.
Part 7. Remove motivation from the equation. Discipline shines brightest when motivation is lowest. Relying on motivation is the fastest way to be inconsistent. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a system. Winners don't wait to feel like it. They commit to routines that run with or without inspiration. They build systems, habits, and triggers that push them into action regardless of mood. Discipline treats your goals with that same non-negotiable energy. If it matters, it gets done. Feelings are acknowledged but never allowed to lead. The power of micro-commitments. Discipline doesn't always come from massive action. It often starts with micro-commitments. Tiny promises that build momentum. You don't have to do everything, just start. Just move. Give yourself a small, immediate win. Open the laptop. Put on your workout clothes. Write one sentence. Read one page. Drink one glass of water. These micro-actions build trust in yourself. And trust compounds. Every time you follow through, even in a small way, you send a message to your brain. I am disciplined. Tiny wins stack into unstoppable momentum. Discipline is self-respect in action. When you do what you said you would do, you build self-respect. And self-respect is the root of true confidence. It's not about being perfect. It's about keeping your word to yourself. You said you'd wake up at 6 a.m. You said you'd work for 2 hours, did you? You said you'd skip sugar today, did you? Every time you follow through, you prove that your word means something. That's how inner strength is built. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your identity. When you live in alignment with your standards, peace replaces shame. You stop negotiating with weakness and you rise. Don't chase balance. Chase alignment. People often say, you need more balance. But high achievers don't chase balance. They chase alignment. Balance suggests everything gets equal time. But alignment asks, are my actions aligned with my values? Discipline isn't about working non-stop. It's about intentional living. If your body needs rest, discipline means resting. If your goal requires intensity, discipline means turning up the fire. If your family needs your time, discipline means being fully present. You don't need balance. You need alignment between who you are, what you value, and how you spend your time. Use deadlines as discipline tools. Deadlines focus the mind. They compress time. They create urgency. Without deadlines, tasks expand. Focus fades. Discipline weakens. Disciplined people use clear, tight deadlines to sharpen action. I'll write 1,000 words before lunch. Workout ends in 45 minutes. No phone. No breaks. Time constraints create pressure, and pressure breeds clarity. Set them, stick to them, and watch your efficiency explode. Deadlines remove the luxury of delay. Create rituals, not just routines. Routines are helpful, but rituals are sacred. They carry emotional meaning.
They turn ordinary habits into personal ceremonies. A morning stretch becomes a ritual of activation. A 10-minute journal becomes a ritual of clarity. A cup of tea at night becomes a ritual of winding down. When your habits feel sacred, you're more likely to honor them. Build rituals that nourish your mind, body, and mission. Give them meaning. Protect their time slot. Respect their role in your success. Rituals bring soul to structure, and discipline rooted in meaning is discipline that lasts. Set rules for yourself. Freedom without boundaries leads to chaos. Disciplined people live by personal rules. Simple, clear, non-negotiable standards. Rules like no phone before I write 1,000 words daily. No excuses. I don't eat after 8 p.m. And when your life is guided by self-made rules, you reclaim your power. Freedom isn't the absence of structure. It's the presence of self-defined structure that aligns with your vision. They don't waste time over-optimizing every detail. They build systems that are so simple they're hard to break. Examples: instead of a 2-hour workout plan, 30 minutes of intensity. If a system is too complex, it's fragile. You'll abandon it when stress rises. But simple, clear actions build resilience. They keep your habits intact, even when life gets hard. Strip your routines down to their essentials. Make discipline easy to follow, so you follow through. Eliminate decision gaps. A decision gap is the space between intention and action. It's the hesitation, the debate, the internal dialogue that kills momentum. Disciplined people eliminate that gap. They operate like this: decision, action. No delay, no story, no pause. They know that the longer you think, the less likely you are to act. So they shrink the window between idea and execution. Want to be more disciplined? Practice instant follow-through. You say time to write and you begin. You say time to leave and you walk out the door. You say no more junk and you throw it away right now. Train yourself to act without hesitation. That's where true discipline lives. Discipline is the shortcut. People often look for hacks, secrets, or magic formulas, but the ultimate shortcut is discipline. Why? When you're disciplined, you don't waste energy on indecision. You don't leak time into drama. You don't lose weeks falling off track. You stay steady. You stay sharp. You win. Discipline is the fast lane, but few take it, because it feels slow at first. But over time, you move faster than everyone else, because your habits never stall. Keep going. You're not building discipline for one day. You're building a life that functions at a higher level every day. When others quit, you execute. When others search for motivation, you honor your mission. That's how you win, with daily discipline.
Part 8. Identity drives discipline. Your habits are a reflection of how you see yourself. If you want long-term discipline, don't just focus on what you do, focus on who you are becoming. Say this: I'm the kind of person who keeps my word. I'm the kind of person who trains even when it's hard. I'm the kind of person who plans, executes, and finishes. When you internalize a disciplined identity, your actions follow. You stop needing outside pressure. You operate from within. You don't need to force discipline when you already see yourself as a disciplined person. You just prove it every day. Track it or forget it. What gets measured gets improved. What gets ignored gets lost. If you want to strengthen discipline, you must track your behavior. Track your day, wake-up time, daily priorities, exercise consistency, nutrition goals, time spent in deep work, habits completed, not to judge, but to stay honest. Tracking brings awareness, and awareness creates leverage. A calendar, a checklist, a journal. It doesn't matter what tool you use. What matters is that your standards are visible. Discipline grows stronger when it's watched. Become unavailable for excuses. Discipline begins where excuses end. The world is full of reasons to pause, delay, or shrink. But high performers develop one rule: I don't negotiate with weakness. The weather, your mood, someone's opinion, none of it changes your standard. You don't complain, you don't explain, you execute. Excuses are mental escape routes.
Block them, seal them, make them unusable. Tell yourself, this is who I am now. This gets done. Period. Discipline starts the night before. Your morning routine begins the night before. If your evening is chaotic, your day starts behind. Discipline doesn't clock out at 8 p.m. It prepares for tomorrow. Set your morning up like a pro. Lay out your clothes. Set your alarm far from bed. Plan your priorities. Shut down screens early. Go to sleep like it matters, because it does. Success starts with sleep, and sleep improves when you respect your wind-down ritual. A disciplined evening leads to a decisive morning. Don't leave it to chance. Design it. Remove willpower from the process. Willpower is useful, but unreliable. Discipline becomes sustainable when you design for it, not just try harder. This means prep your environment, automate key habits, reduce friction, remove temptation, keep tools in reach, batch decisions in advance. The more you rely on systems, the less pressure you place on willpower. Example, if you want to eat clean, don't fight craving, just remove junk food from your home. If you want to write daily, leave your laptop open to the writing document. Make doing the right thing easier, and doing the wrong thing inconvenient. That's smart discipline. Build mental momentum. Discipline is as much mental as physical. What you focus on daily determines your momentum. Here's what builds mental momentum. Gratitude journaling. Starts your day with power. Morning affirmations align your identity. Daily review reminds you of progress. Clear wins list. You document action, not perfection. Celebrate discipline, not just results. Track every action taken, every small promise kept. The more you notice your consistency, the more confident you become. Confidence then fuels more action. This is how momentum is built, from thought to habit, to identity. Refuse to lose to comfort. Comfort is the quiet killer of ambition. It seduces you with convenience and slowly erodes your edge. Discipline is the decision to choose growth over comfort every single day. That might look like doing the hard reps, making the uncomfortable call, waking up earlier than you want, saying no to the easy route, leaning into your resistance. The key: get comfortable being uncomfortable. The more you practice discomfort, the more powerful you become. You stop avoiding challenge, you walk toward it. And that's how you win where others fold. Never miss twice. Even the most disciplined people slip, but their rule is simple. I never miss twice. You missed a workout? Fine, you don't miss the next one. You ate poorly today? Okay, tomorrow is locked in. One miss is human. 2 in a row becomes habit. The never miss twice rule keeps you from spiraling. It breaks the guilt cycle and recenters you fast. Progress is about course correction, not perfection. Train yourself to bounce back quickly. Discipline isn't about never falling. It's about always rising. Protect your energy. Discipline thrives when your energy is protected. Because without energy, even the best plan falls apart. Build discipline around energy management, not just time. That includes sleep, non-negotiable. Deep sleep is high performance. Movement, daily physical activity, sharpens focus. Food, fuel, not entertainment. Eat for performance. Boundaries, say no more. Protect your mission from distractions. People, stay around driven minds. Limit drama. You don't need to grind 20 hours a day. You need to protect the 6-8 peak hours you have, and use them with force. Energy is your weapon. Guard it with discipline. Win the day, every day. You don't need to master a decade. Just win today. Win your morning. Win your priorities. Win your choices. Win your mindset. Stack enough daily wins, and you change your trajectory. That's the secret. Daily discipline compounds into long-term domination. You won't always feel like it. That's normal. But remember, discipline is not about how you feel. It's about what you've decided. Win today, then win again tomorrow. Let the world catch up. You are no longer chasing success. You're outworking it with daily discipline.
Part 9. Discipline is a skill, not a trait. Too many people think discipline is something you're born with. It's not.
It's something you build. Discipline is like a muscle. If you train it, it grows. If you ignore it, it weakens. Nobody starts with flawless self-control. What separates the disciplined from the distracted is simple. Reps. Reps in, day out. Saying no when it's hard. Showing up when you don't feel like it. Sticking to the plan without external rewards. Choosing action over comfort. Following through when it's boring. You build discipline the same way you build strength. With daily practice, progressive challenges, and no skipping leg day. The disciplined aren't special, they're just consistent. Don't rely on motivation. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a decision. Some days you'll feel inspired. Most days you won't. But that has nothing to do with whether you execute or not. Here's the truth. Motivation starts the engine. Discipline keeps the wheels turning. If you rely on motivation, your progress will be inconsistent. If you rely on discipline, your growth will be inevitable. Train yourself to act regardless of feeling. Show up when you're tired. Push through when it's boring. Stay sharp when nobody's watching. That's what separates professionals from amateurs. Discipline doesn't wait for the right mood. It creates it. Through movement. Create rituals, not routines. Routines are things you do. Rituals are things you believe in. A routine says, I'll try to go to the gym at 6 a.m. A ritual says, I train every morning because I'm the type of person who doesn't skip. Discipline grows deeper when your actions are tied to meaning. Make your habits sacred. Your morning is your foundation. Your workout is your mental armor. Your reading is your growth fuel. Your journaling is your clarity. Your planning is your power. Don't just go through the motions. Honor the process. When you treat discipline like a ritual, it transforms from a task into a source of pride. Self-respect is built through self-control. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you build inner power. Every time you break it, you weaken your self-respect. Discipline isn't just about getting things done. It's about becoming someone you can trust. Here's what builds self-respect. Following through even when nobody sees. Finishing what you started. Refusing to break your own rules. Not needing external validation to stay consistent. Your self-respect is earned. One decision at a time. It's not loud, it's quiet confidence. The kind of confidence that says, I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I know who I am. Discipline is the path to that. Build systems for the hard days. Everyone's motivated on a good day. Winners design for the hard days. Your energy will drop. Your mood will shift. Life will hit. What keeps you consistent isn't willpower. It's systems. Examples. If you know you'll be tired after work, schedule your workout in the morning. If your evenings are chaotic, prep your meals on Sunday. If you're easily distracted, use a timer and go phone-free during deep work. If you overthink, write down the next 3 action steps and just start. The point is this. Don't hope for strength. Plan for weakness. Design your environment, your schedule, and your tools to carry you when discipline dips. That's how pros stay consistent. Set micro goals with macro vision. Big dreams are built through tiny wins. Don't just focus on the end result. Break it down into actionable daily victory. For example, if you had big vision, write a book. Micro goal, write 300 words a day. Big vision, run a marathon. Micro goal, train 30 minutes today. Big vision, build a business. A micro goal, make 1 sales call, 1 content piece. Discipline becomes manageable when it's focused on the next step, not the entire staircase. Remind yourself daily, I don't have to do it all today. I just have to do the next right thing. String enough micro wins together and the macro goal takes care of itself. Focus on inputs, not just outcomes. Outcomes are results. Inputs are behavior. Discipline lives in the input. You can't control exactly when success shows up, but you can control whether because the right inputs, repeated with discipline, always lead to outcomes. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Cut out the noise. Discipline loves silence. Distraction is its enemy. If your day is full of noise, your mind can't focus. You'll start reacting instead of executing. Here's how to eliminate the noise. A. Turn off non-essential notifications. Block time for deep work. Unfollow drama. Don't consume before you create. Build no input mornings. No phone, no social. Just your priorities. Quiet the outside world. Listen to your own direction. Discipline grows in clarity. Clarity is found in stillness. Protect your focus like it's your freedom, because it is. Make your discipline visible. Don't hide your discipline. Build visual cues into your life. Track your workouts on a wall calendar. Keep a streak chart for your habits. Cross off daily wins. Post reminders in your environment. Set phone backgrounds with your goal. Seeing progress reinforces belief. It reminds you, I'm doing it. I'm becoming who I said I would. Even something as small as a checkbox can trigger momentum. Make your progress visible. Let it speak back to you. Let it keep you locked in even when the voice in your head wants to quit. You're always training something. Every action is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. You don't just practice discipline when it's convenient. You're always training. Skip a workout. You're training inconsistency. Procrastinate. You're training hesitation. Show up on time. You're training reliability. Say no to temptation. You're training mental strength. You're either building discipline or eroding it. There is no neutral, so ask yourself constantly, what am I training right now? Choose your reps wisely, because every one of them shapes your future.
Part 10. The identity of a disciplined person. Discipline isn't just about actions, it's about identity. When you say, I am a disciplined person, you're not pretending. You're programming. Your identity drives your behavior, and your behavior reinforces your identity. That's why the most powerful shift you can make is to start seeing yourself as the kind of person who always follows through. You don't skip workouts, not because you have to, but because it's who you are. You don't quit on your goals, not because of guilt, but because quitting isn't aligned with your values. You don't need someone to push you, because you've trained yourself to lead you. This mindset turns discipline from something you chase into something you embody. Say it clearly. I am the kind of person who's up, always. Mastery is boring, and that's why it works. Here's the truth most won't tell you. The path to greatness is repetitive, unglamorous, and often boring. That's why so few people walk it. But the disciplined understand that boredom is a feature, not a flaw. It means you're sticking to the process long enough to get results. The best athletes run the same drills daily. The most consistent entrepreneurs show up when others drift. The strongest minds meditate, write, reflect, and repeat. Mastery lives in the repetition. Discipline is your permission to stay in it long enough to grow. Don't chase novelty. Chase consistency. Let boring become your superpower. Audit your circle. Your environment either feeds your discipline or kills it. You become like the people you spend time with. If they're inconsistent, you'll start drifting. If they're focused, you'll level up. Ask yourself, do the people around me hold themselves to a high standard? Are they growing or just talking? Do they inspire me to show up or distract me from the work? If you want to win with daily discipline, your circle must reflect your mission. Find those who celebrate execution over excuse, challenge you to be sharper, normalize ambition, hustle, and progress. Stay committed even in silence. Greatness isn't solo, it's supported. Surround yourself with people who demand your best. Relentless consistency over rare intensity. Discipline isn't about one huge push. It's about 1,000 small ones. You don't need to go viral, make 6 figures overnight, or work 16 hours straight. You just need to peak. Show up today. Do what matters. Avoid what doesn't. Repeat tomorrow. The winners are not the most talented or most excited. They're the ones who can execute daily, without letting their emotions sabotage them. Rare intensity fades. Relentless consistency wins. Choose consistency. Be the person who never disappears. You'll never regret discipline. There's one rule that always proves true. Following through feels good for a lifetime. Think back to your proudest moments. They weren't easy. They were the ones where you resisted temptation, pushed through discomfort, and honored your vision. Discipline creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates a life you're proud of. And it all starts with one simple choice. Do what you said you would do. Anchor your actions to purpose. Discipline without purpose is just pressure. But when you attach your habits to a deeper why, they become powerful. Ask yourself, why does this matter? What am I building? Who benefits when I show up consistently? Maybe it's your future family. Maybe it's the younger version of you who dreamed bigger. Maybe it's the life you promised yourself but haven't built yet. Let that purpose fuel your discipline. When you remember why you started, quitting stops feeling like an option. Never miss twice. Perfection isn't the goal. Resilience is. You will mess up. You will miss a day. You will fall short. But the rule is simple. Never miss twice. Missed the gym. Go tomorrow. Broke a habit. Rebuild it. Slipped on your schedule. Reset fast. The disciplined don't rely on being flawless. They rely on bouncing back fast. Progress isn't linear. What matters is that you keep showing up. Your bounce back time defines your strength. Lead yourself first. Discipline is leadership, starting with you. If you can't lead your own thoughts, habits, and behavior, how can you lead anything else? Every day you have a decision. Will you guide your mind, or let it wander? Will you control your actions or let them be random? Will you make your day count, or count the excuses? Leading yourself means saying no when it's not aligned, protecting your time and energy, holding your future self in highest regard. You don't need to wait for anyone to give you permission. You are your own commander. You are your own discipline coach. You are your own source of power. Own it. This is how you win. Daily discipline isn't sexy. It's not loud. It won't always feel good, but it will change your life. Discipline builds trust in yourself. It earns you clarity, momentum, and pride. It helps you build a life you don't need to escape from. Here's how you win. Focus on the day in front of you. Control what you can. Repeat your habits relentlessly. Choose progress over perfection. Stand back up when you fall. Believe in the power of small wins. Stacked daily. This is the blueprint. This is the mindset. This is the identity. You now know how to win with daily discipline. Now live.